he stopped racing for a couple years. He won the 250 Supercross Championship with Mitch Payne's Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Quit dirt bikes for a few years, said, you know what? I want to come back and do this thing. And everything I've seen from him so far in this offseason seems like he's really putting a lot into it. Wants to see just how good he can do.
Well, and he was a sheriff for a little bit.
He was.
450 yeah. Group A qualifying, fueled by AM, PM. There we see Jet Lawrence. That's the guy, right? It's not even arguable at this point. He is the title favorite coming in here to Supercross. The things he does on the motorcycle, I mean, it's just unbelievable. We've both done it for a long time, but when you watch Jet on a super motocross track, it's unbelievable.
It really is. And what is so crazy, I almost feel that it's not, I know Jet gets brought up a lot, but I almost feel like it's not emphasized enough. But he has had, if you look at on paper, like he has had the best start to a dirt bike career ever. And he's won like 70% of the races he's signed up for. So you really can't overstate just how good this guy is. And I think he has everything he needs, of course, to keep getting it done. He has the skills. We know that's not going anywhere. I think now it's about mentally, as kind of, he's like you said, he's checked all those goals off the list already. It's about staying motivated, staying hungry, not getting complacent, continuing to work on his craft, and doing the same things that got him there.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that you were a type of guy in qualifying. You like to go out, throw some laps down early. Jet's kind of quite opposite. I've noticed over the last couple of years that he goes out slow, he kind of checks out the track, he's very methodical, and then he's one that throws down lap times really late when maybe the track's even at its worst in that qualifying practice. But here's a guy.
Speaking of methodical,
the two of Cooper Webb, two-time champion, coming here his second year on that Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. Got some new threads on, got that Fly Racing gear, looking good. Coop with a different line right there. We haven't seen that a lot going on off. Most guys are going over the table and triple, but you mentioned it. You thought Cooper Webb this track was really going to favor him. Explain why you think that.
Well, anytime I see a tight track like this, not that many long lanes, I think Coop just has a way of thinking himself around these type of racetracks. Maybe like I mentioned earlier, I always think when I think of a fast track, I think of Glendale. I don't think that's really his jam. His stuff like this, when I think tighter tracks, I think ruts, technical, steep jumps, and that's our guy Cooper Webb. That's his wheelhouse.
Okay, I want to touch on 250 West again, and Levi Kitchen. We did just get some news that Levi Kitchen is officially moved to the East Coast, I believe. So
that's wild.
He is moving to the East Coast due to that illness. Unfortunate, but look, he's got to be healthy, especially if he wants to compete for a championship. That's what he wants to do, and hopefully he gets feeling better soon.
Yeah, hopefully it's something that he gets over next few days and able to get back on the bike and be all good. But I think that's our first breaking news story on Race Day Live, JB. Good job.
I don't know if, have you ever seen that? Like a title contender coming in, road free practice, opts out, and now he's going east. And look, I got to be honest, I was pretty excited for that rivalry between Hayden and Levi, but there's another rivalry brewing. The number 3 of Eli Tomac. Last season, man, I hate to see him go, but I think he goes out with a bang.
Well, I absolutely think if this is it, I think he's going to go out with multiple race wins in this. I really think, based off what I've seen in the offseason, look, the sport keeps progressing. We've talked about that. But I always tell people, I think that 2022 pro motocross season with Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton, I think since then, the sport, obviously then Jet coming in the 450 class in 2023, the speed has just continued to go up. And I think Eli, in his, I guess, old age in dirt bikes, not in life, but in old age in dirt bikes, he's found more. He's found more. He's found different ways to win, and I think he has everything he needs. And speaking of winning races, what can this guy do this year, JB?
Sky's the limit. I really think sky's the limit. I believe if 2023 Chase Sexton's speed meets 2024 maturity. 2025 is going to be an absolute, I mean, for sure, obviously a title contender, but he'd be tough to beat.
Anytime you're in the second year of a new motorcycle, I think you're gonna see some progress. I think it's a way different feel getting on the Austrian motorcycle. Everything I've heard in the offseason, he does seem to be in a better place. We knew that he wasn't in the best place last year, and we go to the top of the board with a 105.0. That's fast.
And look, he was fastest in free practice as well. I know we don't count that, but you and I would count that.
Oh,
as
we
racers,
count that
we would
mentally.
absolutely count that.
We count that mentally.
So to be on the top spot with a 105.0, that's fast. How about the 51?
I've got a hot take. I think
it.
Justin Barcia may be the fittest human being on planet Earth, because the guy never gets tired, and riding the way he rides, that aggressive, I've really never seen anything like it.
He's definitely fit. He loves to ride the bicycle. I actually rode with him a few times when he was living in Charlotte, did some mountain biking together, and really, really fit. And the one thing about him this year, he's hired Alden Baker as his trainer. And, I love that, because when you get towards the end of your career, you start to not take it easy, but, Justin's not the type of guy that really needs to be motivated.
Right.
So to go to Alden's program as an older rider, that shows me he's committed at this point.
I think so too, and he's looking to take another step. He's not just trying to ride it out and do the same thing he's been doing. He's willing to make himself uncomfortable to be better.
AP on your screen, the number 7. Lurch caught up with him just a little bit ago.
Alongside Aaron Plessinger, Red Bull KTM, the number 7. You look back at 2024, you knew you had to start the season quick, and you did, especially that first win in San Diego. Getting out of the blocks is important.
Yeah, for sure, especially with all these fast guys being healthy and just starting the season. So, you got to get off to a good start and sprint to the finish. So hopefully I can do that, get some more wins this year, and maybe lock down that red plate for a whole season.
Preparation coming into this season different than last year, a different mindset, anything?
Yeah, not really too much different, man. Really just motos at the practice track, sprints, and a couple starts, and it's pretty much the same as last year, but feel a little bit stronger this year and a little bit more confident.
I got to tell you, always a fan favorite. We're going to see how he does at the start of the season.
Love me some AP, obviously a fan favorite, and won San Diego last year, held the red plate for a few races. I think that was a huge step in his career. Now, like he said, obviously he wants to hold the red plate for the season, but huge step last season just to finally get that belief, like I can win the race.
I remember 2023 Detroit when we had that win locked up, and the entire Supercross community, including myself, who was out on the racetrack, was just heartbroken for the guy. But he came back, redeemed himself last year, the win at San Diego. I really think with AP, he's a kind of a streaky type of rider. If he gets out there, gets some good results, gets some confidence, he's sneaky. When you think of AP, you don't think of necessarily just straight up raw speed, but that's what he's shown us the last 2 years. He's shown us that he does occasionally have the raw speed to put in a win, a podium, straight up against the best in the world.
Yeah, he goes to 7th with that lap that we caught here on Race Day Live with a 106.0. First right now, 104.2 from Jet Lawrence. Now on your screen right now, Shane McElrath, that quad lock Honda. Shane's an interesting one to me. Obviously a great 250 career, battled Chase Sexton all the way down to the wire in Salt Lake City. He's currently 16th right now in this session, but has yet to really show what he's capable on the 450. I think he's got a great opportunity with this team.
I think he's a really good rider, and I've seen he's done a lot of off-season racing too, which I think sometimes that can help with the overall nerves that Anaheim won. And I remember I battled him a lot back in the 250 days. That time I was talking about in 2018, I remember he put it to me pretty good. So all these guys, man, they're capable of so much great things. I mean, you see him he's in 17th right now, but I can't even explain to you just how good of a rider he is, and he's in 17th.
Well, it's funny, Jason Wygant from SMX Insider and all the other things he does. One of my favorite guys in the sport. We always talk about it. If you were at a practice track watching Shane McElrath ride, you would think he's the best rider in the world. Like, he's absolutely unbeatable. And then he comes to the race and he's 17th. AC, does this get you a little emotional right now? They put number 70 on your bike. I mean, what happened? Jorge Prado.
Guy comes to the U.S. He breaks my hand in the last turn at Anaheim 1, takes my gear deal and my ride? JB? No, I'm kidding. Jorge, what a great addition to the Super Motocross World Champion. We got the Spanish broadcast, and